الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره نستعين به جل وعلا نستهديه ونستغفره نعوذ به سبحانه وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. عباد الله، أنصحكم ونفسي الآثمة بتقوى الله، أحثكم وإياها على طاعته، أحذركم وإياها وبال مخالفته جل وعلا ومعصيته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن سيدنا وحبيبنا وعظيمنا ونبينا وشفيعنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وجدد وضاعف وعظم ومجد على هذا النبي الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، وارض اللهم عن أصحابه أجمعين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في المحكم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو. الآية or part of the آية الكريمة في سورة البقرة, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us on behalf of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, they ask you, يسألونك, they're asking you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ماذا ينفقون, what should they spend, what should they give? قل العفو, say العفو, or tell them العفو. Before we go into the ayah, there is a point that Islam always stressed on: the spiritual aspects of the deen, which are really the core of the deen. What that means, it means that as-salah is not simply rituals and movements. As-salah actually, while it contains physical movements, but the point from the sujood is not simply that your body does sujood, but also that your soul does sujood to Allah. That you acquire and understand that you are a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that you are prostrating for Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you feel that you're humbling yourself, not only your body, but you feel the ubudiyah, or that you are the creation of Allah. It's that feeling. We are all the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lakin some people do not feel that. Do not break that in their hearts. Therefore, they rise in tyranny and rise in tyranny until there will be a time when they call themselves lords, like Fir'aun. The ibadah without its meaning, without its core values, becomes then movements. Therefore, Al-Habib Al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam tells us, hadith sahih, you all know it, about fasting, for example. Fasting, abstaining from food and drinks from sunrise to sunset. Lakin, he or she who fasts, yet they do not stop their tongue from backbiting people and talking bad about them. Even the fasting of the month of Ramadan. Then Nabi Al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, what? Allah has not in need of their fast. لا حاجة لله في طعامه وشرابه. There's no need. And the point is not abstaining from food and drinks. Now, that is a point that's there. Lakin this is not the main point. Lakin if you guarantee this, the tongue, and what you think about the slaves of Allah and how you hurt other people and how you deal with other people, that translates what you believe. Otherwise, it'll be a matter of hypocrisy. You believe something and you do another. At best. Therefore, sociologists and social scientists, they always have an issue. They say, and they talk about that, even philosophers did, the point that whether the human being has an intrinsic goodness in it or no intrinsic goodness in it. So some people say, no, the human being has intrinsic goodness in it. Some say, no, he doesn't have intrinsic goodness in it. And you know how the opinions fight. And you see the others they bring, then who teaches babies to throw temper tantrums, for example? That's a bad thing. So who teaches them that? If they don't get what they want, they'll throw another one. If they don't get what they want, they'll throw another one. And so on. Some people, some sociologists want to say that it's really the environment that dictates. Everyone is born totally good. And the environment dictates how this person will become. Lakin, what kind of environment? Is it the apparent environment or the spiritual environment? Yani the apparent environment that the man prays or has a belief, or the actual core meaning of that belief, what that belief entails, the huquq that beliefs that brings with it. Therefore, you see some of the most massive criminals in the world were brought up in supposedly quote-unquote good environments. Hitler, privileged, mass murderer, but privileged upbringing, privileged environment supposedly. He even used to listen to Mozart after he kills people. If that's what you think environment is, what's the environment? Now you see De Niro, for example, another one. Or Nero, not De Niro. Nero, that tyrant that sat in the place of Julius Caesar. Though Julius Caesar compared to Nero as an angel, in that sense, in that comparison. Yeah, in the sense of the human behaviors, what he did, this man was a tyrant. He had people worship him and killed so many people under the very name of justice and seat that he occupied after Caesar. Anyway, therefore you see that simply the environment, that environment must be defined. Because many people nowadays, and even in the old days, they have erected walls of hate and ignorance and arrogance and intolerance under the very name of the religion and faith, which is supposed to mean love and tolerance and open-mindedness. Inclusion versus exclusion. Now, imagine had the Prophet ﷺ come, and anyone who does not like him or who cursed him one time, oh, Allah destroy him and destroy all his family and everyone that is around him and everything. Nobody. Many of these people were not, they were worshipping idols when Nabi Sallallahu came. لكن Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered and told them, وَادْعُوا إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. Therefore, I always maintain this, the Anbiya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala versus the enemies of Allah, the ignorance. الجاهل عدو ما لا يفهم. The ignorant is an enemy of what he doesn't understand. You see the path of the Anbiya on one side, and you see the path of the Jahilin, والمنافقين والمتحذقين. That chain that keeps going. The half smart or the half knowledgeable, etc., whatever people want to call them. On one side. One side, الدعوة إلى الله بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة, and the other side الدعوة إلى الشيطان under the name of دعوة إلى الله. Al-Islam came to tell us, number one, everyone is born with the capacity to do good or bad. Every single person, regardless. There is intrinsic good capacity to commit good and intrinsic capacity to commit evil in every single human being from the day they're born. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the nafs, the human soul, the human being, and He talks about the nafs and He who created the nafs, the soul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it the two paths, capacitated that soul to do good things. Allah mentions, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. Those who follow the path of tazkiyah and the path of the Anbiya, they shall be successful. Tazkiyah means improve, comes from zakah. Zakah means increase. Unlike what people think, zakah means decrease of money. Zakah actually in the linguistic sense means increase. Zakah, and therefore tazkiyah comes from improving and increasing. Notice? Versus قَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا, and they shall lose those who commit evil. Very simple. Therefore الحديث في مسلم الذي أخرجه الإمام مسلم في الصحيح أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said كل مولود يولد على الفطرة. Every human being is born on the fitrah. Now we have many understandings, and some of the ulama disagreed, and many of them went to say that fitrah means everyone is born Muslim. And I have a different opinion in that, for there is no evidence for that. But everyone, I believe, is born with the open capacity to accept anything that is fed to that person. And therefore, in Islam, fiqh-wise speaking, the human being until the age of accountability is not mukallaf, unaccountable. غير مكلف, regardless. It doesn't make any difference. Huh? Even since they are not mukallaf, why? Because if someone is born on the fitrah of Islam and the fitrah of Tawheed, which means entails information that there is no one that's worthy of worship but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no one is worthy of being glorified in the sense of God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that's information. But people are not born with that information. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. The ayah. Allah took you out or willed for you to exit the wombs of your mother and you don't know anything. لا تعلمون شيئا. وجعلكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة. Then He gave you the hearing, the eyes, the vision, etc. and the mind, the intellect, so you can understand and capacitate the message. Because if you don't have a brain, you cannot capacitate the message. You're not accountable. Insane person is not accountable. غير مكلف شرعا. فقها. Notice? So therefore, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what does he say? Sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. He says that أَبَوَاهُ يُهَوِّدَانَهُ. So everyone is born on the fitrah. What is this fitrah? I'd like to take it to the ayah. وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا وَهَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. We have facilitated for him both ways, either shakir, thankful, or kafur, unthankful. يقول المصطفى صلى الله عليه وآله فأبواه, the parents of this person will make him either Majusi or Yahudi or Nasrani. But many people don't quote the other narration also, which is Sahih, وَإِن كَانَا مُسْلِمَيْنِ فَمُسْلِمٍ. So if the parents are Yahudis, Nasranis, Majusis, or if they are Muslims, he becomes Muslim. Or if he's Majusis, they make him Majusi. Or if he's Yahudi, he becomes Yahudi, etc., etc., etc. The point now, from the ayah comes, يَسَأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ. They come and tell you, Ya Rasulullah, what should we spend? There has to be a soul here, a spiritual aspect of spending. It's not a matter of taking the money. It's not a matter of simply being in this life and living on the offside of life, but actually contributing to life and contributing to yourself and contributing to your community and your society and your nation and the world as a whole. This is the point of a Muslim being in this world. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. How do you get there? With tazkiyah. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنْ دَسَّاهَا. And that's an ongoing process from the day you're born till the day you die. The more tazkiyah you do, the more improvement and increasing in your iman and your fahm of the sharia, understanding of the haqa'iq and the maqasid of the sharia, the more you'll rise and the more you stay away, the more you will decline. Ongoing process. And sometimes fluctuating from it. That's how it is. Nothing is guaranteed. Nobody has a guarantee to Jannah except those whom Allah guaranteed. Other than that, people are accountable. Based on what they do. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. مَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا. If you do worth of an atom of evil, you shall face it. Or of good, you shall also be rewarded for it. يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلِ الْعَفْوَ. A group of the Sahaba, of Asbab al-Nuzul of the Ayah al-Kareemah, group of the Sahaba came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. They said, Ya Rasulullah, what should we spend? I mean, give us ways, good ways that we should spend our money on. Al-ayah was revealed. قُلِ الْعَفُو. Tell them what they should spend. Al-afu. Spend al-afu. What is al-afu? There are a few opinions, and let's go through the opinions here of the ulama. One, al-afu is the good. What should you spend? You should spend the good. What's the good? Good. It means if you are a shepherd and you have lots of sheep and it's time for you to give Sadaqa or Zakah, what should you give out of this? The good ones, not the bad ones. Now you have oranges or you have bananas or you have apples or you have these things. When the time comes for your Zakah or your Sadaqa, when you want to give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what do you give out of all this? The good, al-afu, which means the good out of these things. You don't give the bad out of them. The reason for that is because many people, they think they can trick Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? He's the one who gave you everything. He's the one, He knows what you have. And He knows what you think. And He knows everything about you. When it comes time to give yourself and your family and your mother and father food from what you own, you give them the best. When it comes time to give Allah's share, you give the worst. What should they spend? Al-afu. The best that they have. Among the best they have, they give to Allah. Think about it when you are giving this, you are giving it to Allah. Therefore, al-Mu'arrikheen, the historians mention that when Nabi al-Azam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to the house of Fatima al-Zahra the second day after her marriage, saw her shining the ring of copper. Sayyidina Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, does not have money to buy gold or silver. So when he wanted to get married, he says, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, go get any ring. Whatever you can get. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't have any money. He said, what about the shield I gave you, remember? He says, yeah, okay. He said, get this one. The point is symbolic. It's the symbol for those who have amana, for those people who look for security for their daughters or their sons, so we have to make a high dowry, and the mahar has to be $1 million and $2 million and $3 million, and the party has to be 300,000 people. What about the people who are dying from hunger? There is no security except if there is amana and trustworthiness in that person. There is no security except if there is God-feelingness in that person. No, the whole money of the world cannot give you security for your daughter if the one that you're marrying her does not respect or observe the rules and the ways that Allah wanted. How do you want him to respect your sayings if he doesn't respect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words? Well, are you fooling yourself? It can be in any Hilton you want. But the Hilton, that was the room that Nabi al-Azam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam allowed. I don't say the Hilton with that meaning, not metaphorical meaning. Because that room that held Fatima al-Zahra, Sayyidul Nisa al-Alameen, is no comparable to anything except Jannah. Jannah and heavens, not only on earth. For who was in it? Get any ring. He got the ring. That's all he had. Was Sayyidah Fatima radwanullahi alayha wa ru'ya al-fida, she saw this ring as the whole world. Subhanallah. Look at that. Like everything, that is all that Ali Amir could get. This copper ring, this was everything for her. He comes to her sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the next day, and she is taking her dress and she's shining the ring and cleaning it. He says, why are you doing this? She says, Father, this is one of the most things I like in this dunya, therefore I decided to give it for fi sabilillah, Sadaqa. Why are you cleaning it if you want to give Sadaqa? She says, oh Father, because I know that the Sadaqa goes to Allah before it goes to the faqir. Before it goes to the faqir, it goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah receives it, in a sense of metaphorical sense again, but the faqir gets it. Therefore, Abu Talha والحديث رواه البخاري وothers, الحاكم and others. Abu Talha had a beer, had a حديقة, يعني basically a bustan or a little garden with a well of water in it. But he used to like it. So when the ayah was revealed, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. The ayah means, you shall not attain the maqam of birr, piety, closeness to Allah, until you spend from that you love most. Abu Talha radiallahu anhu, Abu Talha, Sahabi Azim, Jaleel, he came, he thought about this. He said, he came to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I have this beer, and I love it so much, and since this ayah was revealed, I want to give this beer to you, Ya Rasulullah, فَضَعْهَا حَيْثُ تَشَاء. You put this beer, you put this hadiqa, or you put this farm, anywhere you want. It is Sadaqa fi sabilillah, lillahi wa rasulih. Look at this. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, قَبِلْنَاهَا وَدْنَاهَا عَلَيْكَ. I accept it, and I give it back to you, as long as you give it and share it amongst your people. It's not that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wants something for himself. Share it amongst your people. Bakhin, bakhin, fi riwayat Bukhari. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this is a good thing. This will never perish, Ya Abu Talha. Notice? That's why when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told Sayyida Aisha radiallahu anha, when they were giving the sheep and parts of the sheep Sadaqa, and when the word was said, well, we gave everything. No, we actually kept everything. We gave everything for Allah, but that means we kept the reward of everything. We didn't really give everything. Notice? So therefore, you see now, يَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلِ الْعَفْوُ. When you want to give to Allah, give the best, among the best that you have. Unless you think it's decreasing your wealth and no one is accounting what you do. For if you think there is a creator who knows what you're doing and why you gave what you gave, and you gave it sincerely for him, he will reward you not only double or triple, but multitudes that only he knows, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abadan. All the time, like this is a rule Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put. Al-afu, because inna Allah tayyib, la yaqbalu illa tayyib. Allah is tayyib, only accepts the things that are good. Allah accepts good things, not things that we want to do here and there. But there's another meaning for al-afu. Some of the ulama, they said al-afu means what is excess. Excess of what you have. What does that mean? I have this and this is enough for me. Not that I always, but I have what's basically enough for me. Then what I give, what should I give for the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I should give basically what is extra of my necessities. My basic necessities, what extra is subject to giving for fi sabilillah. جاء البيضاوي, Imam al-Baydawi rahimahullah. Others mentioned that a man came to the Prophet ﷺ with something like an egg worth or an egg shape of gold. That's all he had. Put it into gold. Gave it to the Prophet ﷺ. Said, Ya Rasulullah, خُذْهَا عَنِي صَدَقَةً. Take it from me, Sadaqa. And the Nabi ﷺ did not take it from him. Didn't acknowledge him. Repeats the man, Ya Rasulullah, take it from me, Sadaqa. 3 times. And he's insistent. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then the narration says he took it from him and then he gave it back to him. He said then, what is with people like you? That you give all what you have, ثُمَّ يَجْلِسُ يَتَكَفَّفُ النَّاسِ. Then you would start begging people for money. إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَةُ عَنْ ظَهْرِ الْغِنَى. As-sadaqah is what is excess or it is extra of your basic needs. In other words, you cannot give sadaqah, all your money, and then you have nothing left. And then you want to go and beg people for money. A sadaqah that you give to Allah, that is good and valid and accepted, is the one that is after your basic needs. Then you give that. So al-afu here is excess. Now some people may object, rightfully so. They say, Shaykh, what are you talking about? How about the Siddiq radiallahu anhu, Abu Bakr? When Abu Bakr came and gave all his money, the Prophet ﷺ did not reject that. How come? We say because there is a Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam looks at people from the knowledge of Allah revealed to him. So he knows the darajat of yaqeen, the levels of yaqeen between people and other people. And he knows that the Prophet ﷺ, that when Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala came and gave him all his money, he knows that the yaqeen of Abu Bakr is different than the yaqeen of this man. Therefore he accepted from Abu Bakr, but then returned to this man his money. Everybody is different here. Notice? So the yaqeen is also levels. Therefore Umar radiallahu anhu, when he came, he gave half of his money. And the Prophet did not say no. Took it. But the other man, take it back. Not everyone is on the same level of yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and understanding. Therefore you see from the seerah, and you see the seerah of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, you see Sayyidina Imam Hassan, for example, Hassan ibn Ali. And Imam Hassan used to, most of the mu'arrikheen mentioned that he came out of his money 2 times or 3 times totally. Everything he owned, he just walked out of it like you walk out of your own house. And that's it, I don't have anything. And then وَشَاطَرَ اللَّهَ مَرَّتَيْنِ فِي أَمْوَالِهِ. And then he split his money with Allah twice in his lifetime. 3 times he walked out of his money entirely, and twice he split his money with Allah. So much that the mu'arrikheen, the historians used to say, that he would give, out of the pair of shoes he has, he would give one and he would keep one. Darajat, there are levels. Again, we're talking about levels of the yaqeen and how people, those are, but also that someone does not, the point is, why did the Prophet ﷺ tell this Sahabi that you should, I'm not going to accept it from you, so fulfill your own needs, basic needs first. Because the point is that you do not supply someone else's need to make someone new needy. And then there you go. You fill one area and you open up another. That's not the point. The point is that you have your needs and then you do the other. That's number 2. Number 3, يسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو. العفو, what is العفو? They said, some of them said, this is the excess not in the individual pocket, but in Bayt Mal al-Muslimin. In Bayt al-Mal, the Department of the Treasury, whatever it has, excess. Nowadays there are no excesses, but in the old days sometimes there used to be excesses. Whatever excess, then you spread it on people. Give it to people. Give it evenly to people. So much you all know how the Khulafa al-Rashidin radiallahu ta'ala anhum, you know how they used to deal with Bayt al-Mal. Not like the bonuses nowadays that people get. بينما يأتي, there's narration of Sayyidina Ali ibn al-Mu'minin comes to Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, وسيدنا, that was in the time of Umar's Khilafah. Umar as the Khalifa, Ali comes to him and says, Ya Amir al-Mu'minin, or Sayyidina Ali says, Umar asks Sayyidina Ali, and one of them asks the other, he says, did you come to me for a personal visit or for some official visit? La. Ali says, I came to you personal visit. He says, okay, personal visit. There was a candle, he blew off, Umar radiallahu anhu blew off the candle. He says, the candle is from Bayt Mal al-Muslimin. This is a personal visit, so we should not spend the candle's worth of the money of the people on a personal visit. I'm not trying to compare with nowadays. I'm trying to compare with the good standards. In the time of the Khilafah of Sayyidina Ali, you see him after he gives everyone whatever they have. He cannot sleep if the money is still in Bayt al-Mal until he divides it on the people of Kufa where he was. So much that one narration says that he was left with 1 loaf of bread. So he divided the bread 7 times based on the 7 districts of Kufa at that time. You figure it out who wants to eat amongst you. But this is done. And then he would sweep Bayt al-Mal, him and Qanbar. Qanbar is his servant. Qanbar, you say Qanbar is university, I always say. هذا قنبر الله عليه. خدم الإمام, he was the khadim of Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'minin. Well, Qanbar was a school by himself. He and Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'minin, both of them, both, the Khalifa and the servant, they're both sweeping Bayt al-Mal and then bring some water and then sprinkle the water so it's cool and ready to be filled again. Al-Afu must be spent, not kept for whatever things. This is the money of the people. Give it back to the people. Give it back to those who earn it. Because Islam, we understand that governmental bodies are regulatory. They're not superior. They are of the people, for the people, by the people, correct? لا يسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو. العفو, they say, this is the social well-being entirely. The entire society's social well-being. As if the Quran wants to tell the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, if you want to spend, look in the society, in the areas where there are problems, and try to bring these areas. يسألونك قل ما أنفقتم من خير فللوالدين والأقربين واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل وما تنفقوا من خير فالله به عليم. When you want to spend, you spend for the parents, for the aqrabin, for the families, for the yatama, the orphans, for the masakin, the people that are poor. And then وَمَا تَفْعَلُ مِنْ خَيْرٍ. On top of that, whatever good that you do, Allah knows what you're doing. So in other words, because the human being is the brother of the fellow human being, if someone is hungry, you should feed for him. And Islam wants to institutionalize these things. That we are all from Adam, and Adam from Turab, and Adam is from clay. And since we are all from Adam, there's one big human family, and that human family necessitates, it has rights upon you as a Muslim to be caring and to extend the mercy Islam came with to every single person who is in need. Therefore, you give them and you try to fill the areas that are needy with everything that you can. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وسلم الشفيع المشفع في المحشر. صل اللهم وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي وعلى آله الفقه والنظر والعلم والأثر وعلى من بآثارهم اكتفى واتبع. Al-Islam, dear brothers and sisters, is not simply rituals or words we say. And therefore, I'll finish with this hadith الذي رواه الحاكم وصححه على شرط Muslim. It's authentic according to Muslim's conditions, where Abu Dharr says that the Nabi ﷺ told me that Allah loves three kinds of people and dislikes three kinds of people. The hadith is long, some other time we'll talk about it, but among the people and Allah SWT dislikes, Sayyidina Abu Dharr mentions, the Prophet ﷺ said, is the al-bakhil al-mannan, the one who is bakhil, miser, yet mannan. Mannan, he brags. He didn't give anything, but he brags. When there's something gathering, he is number one there. But when it really comes time to give, he'll always get other people to collect for him. He's never there. Bakhil, yet mannan. Cheap or miser, yet he brags that he's always giving. Among the people Allah dislikes. يُبْغِضُهُمُ اللَّهُ subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore, among the people that Allah loves by default, then, is the Kareem that nobody knows about. The one who gives, yet nobody knows. Remember the hadith? You give in the right hand so that the left hand doesn't realize what you did. Not the one that is miser to start with, and then he gives and he brags and he brags and he gives little. وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا كَثِيرًا إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. And they don't mention Allah except little. I ask Allah SWT to enable us to institutionalize these characteristics with us. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، أعلي مولانا كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إليه، من أراد بهم غير ذلك فاجعل دائرة السوء عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. آت أنفسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اشف لهم مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وفك أسرانا وارحم موتانا. اغفر اللهم لنا ولآبائنا ولمشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا، ولمن على الخير أعاننا، ولمن عن الشر يبعدنا، ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله. أقم الصلاة.